What is going on, crypto fam? Welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. We are coming at you from our studio here in Sin City, Nevada. I'm one of your co-hosts, David. Hope you guys are having a great day. Portfolios are up a little bit, I hope. Before we get into content, quick disclaimer. Nothing we say on this channel should be taken as financial advice, so please do your own research. With that being said, I'm send it over to your other co-host, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome, Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information, and we package it up in a fun and sexy way. If you haven't liked the video yet, what the hell is wrong with you? If you ain't subscribed yet, what in the hell is wrong with you? And if you haven't turned on the notification bells, don't make me say it a third time. Thank you. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Why are you so loud? You're extra loud today.
Am I extra loud? I'm hyped up, bro.
I don't like it.
Your boy is freaking cranked, man. And I got this Red Bull I just cracked open. So about 45 minutes into the show, your boy gonna get angry. I feel an argument coming on.
Yeah.
I feel an argument. You know how I know? It's because we were already kind of snipping back and forth at each other during the pre-show. You know, he called me stupid. I called him handsome, and it's just not fair.
Yeah.
It's
what
not
did you
fair.
really
It's
say?
not
What
fair.
did you really
It's not
say?
fair.
What did you really say? My
give the
mom is watching,
compliments.
by the way.
All right. Anyways, you're a handsome man. See?
Yeah.
And then this is how you treat me.
Yeah, play the victim here.
That's right, the victim.
Anyways.
So, feeling good today. You know what? Bitcoin, hit 39,000 last night?
Just like we said it would.
That's right. Well, what happened?
Bounced.
It bounced. Just like them stripper booties do here in Vegas. They bounce, bro. So, anyways, CPI numbers came out today.
Yeah.
Shocker here. Guess what? We got inflation.
You know what?
Believe it or not. Can you believe it?
You know what was funny is the White House and the press secretary were all week. Extraordinary numbers, extraordinarily high. They were preparing us for 9.5%, and it came in at 8.5%. And I know what they did there. They underpromised and overdelivered. So they were trying to make it seem like 8.5 wasn't a big deal, hyping it up to be something like 9.5. Mm-hmm. Comes in at 8.5 to take the stress away from us. But we know we're not stupid. We know 8.5 is a lot. Just think of that. $100 last year, this time, is now worth $91.50.
Your spending power is $91.
Correct.
And if you were to go back the year before that, it was 5%. So if you take the month last year at the same time, the CPI was like 4.8%. So if you add 4.8% on top of that, anyways, yeah. So your boys, everybody around you, that person at the gas station counter, the Starbucks attendant, the lawyer, bus driver, every person that you interact with every day is now getting poorer. And the people that are on board members and that have a lot of stocks that have hedges against inflation in the traditional sense, not the crypto sense, they're the ones not getting poorer. They're getting richer. So you're just basically transferring. They always reference transfer wealth. So
I think it's actually a good thing.
But that richer people are getting...
No, that inflation is getting out of control.
No.
Yes.
We'll argue about that all day.
Long term, it'll be a good thing.
Okay, so I don't really... Okay, so yeah, it's nice. Okay, so it's nice that Bitcoin will pump in the long term because of the failures of government. But I would rather not have my Bitcoin portfolio pump up exponentially because of the failures of the country that I live in. So I'd rather have the people, the bus driver, I'd rather have the person behind the counter at the gas station, I'd rather have all the people I interact with having a prosperous life. And that's how it was back in the 60s, the 50s. And people could just be a traveling door-to-door salesman and own a house and have their wife be a stay-at-home mom, and you could afford to do that with a median salary. But that's not possible. Now you get a median salary. You make $50,000 a month. You got to find roommates. You know, you got your wife.
A month? You mean a year?
A year, yeah, $50,000 a year. You got to find roommates.
I'm not even talking about inflation being good in the sense of it pumping up the price of Bitcoin long term.
Well, that's what you're saying is good. So I'm like,
but I'm not saying it's good because of that. It's good for other reasons.
No, inflation is bad across the board, top to bottom, except for risk on assets.
Do you agree that people's spending habits are poor? When the government printed money,
okay, I think the person
money?
living paycheck to paycheck that could barely afford rent before now can't afford it because their grocery bill is more expensive and gas is more expensive and they got to feed their kids and go to work. I don't really care about my Bitcoin portfolio when then. I'd rather those people that didn't get a raise because during the time of inflation or got a minimal raise can at least freaking pay to live. The price of rent is exponentially higher. And so, yeah, we have a cryptocurrency show. I'd love the cryptocurrency to freaking moonshot, but I don't want it at the cost and the expense of everybody around me. That's the way I feel, man. Now, David, he's like, hey, you know what? I'll take all the money from the bus driver. I'm going to pocket a little bit of that money from...
It's not about taking money from the bus driver.
It is.
People have terrible spending habits. And I was one of those. Spending
habits is not the reason for inflation, bro.
I'm not saying it's the reason for inflation. I'm just saying
the reason for inflation is literally the government.
When your surroundings get shaken up, you start to look inwards and you start to figure out, what am I doing? What can I do different? How can I change my spending habits? And I think it'll come out for the better.
Okay. Yeah. So everybody that likes to buy things for themselves, hey, buckle down, save it for rent. That's David's theory there. So, now, he's like, stop spending money, stop going out and go to the movies.
Not about spending
You better
money.
make sure you can pay your rent. Don't do anything besides go to work and pay rent. That's all. That's
what I said.
That's the motto there. So.
Yeah.
You know what? People need to live a little bit, man. I like to enjoy
Well,
myself.
you want to live a little bit, then pay the price.
But you know what?
Pay the price.
The fact is people used to be able to live a little bit and pay bills at the same time. But
things change. So what are you going to do? You can't go back and change it.
Well, you know
you don't have the power to change policy.
No. The people have power to change policy. And if people stood up, if people got together and said enough is enough, man. Why the hell are we okay with 8% inflation? You guys are doing nothing about it besides printing more money. They're sending more money to Ukraine. Not saying that they don't need it, but we're you know what? Maybe it's time to buckle down our finances here.
That's what I'm saying. That's literally what I just said.
Not the people.
You really think the government's going to buckle down on their finances?
Well, if you don't, this is what happens. So and what I'm saying is, you want shit to change, you got to stand up and do something about it. Because at some point, there's going to be a breaking point. Okay, at some point, when people's salaries are $50,000 a year, and bread costs $8, and gas is $25, there's gonna come a breaking point. And in the history of civilizations, throughout the dawn of time, when the entire baseline of the civilization became so poor they couldn't function, they revolted. And history has shown that time and time again. So yeah, keep doing that shit, man. You're gonna have the entire country on welfare, and then everything's gonna catch on fire, bro. You saw what happened with when Trump's re-election thing, the storming of the Capitol. You're gonna get a lot more instances like that where people are just frustrated, bro.
We'll see what happens.
All right. Anyways, let's lighten it up. Bitcoin, $40,000, great buy right now. And shout out to the chat. Let's take a look. Who do we got in here? We only got 8 people in the chat today. What is going on? Where's everybody at, man?
You know, William said, now I'm juggling George and Sin City. Well, I got good news for you, William. You can put one of us on your laptop. You can put one of us on your iPad or a TV or phone. So you can get best of both worlds, my friend.
Well, make sure you have the audio turned on us.
We can have audio on both.
All right. So we had Sweet Potato was the first in the chat. Sweet Potato, congratulations. You win a round of applause. All right. We got Chef in here, Nick, Mayad, Songfills, Stereo 2 on the ones and twos and in the chat. We got Will, who we mentioned is battling his inner demons and deciding whether to watch George or us. We also have HP, Broke Yoshi.
That's going to be
David's wife. Why You Loud? And I think that sums it up. Oh, we got Infinite Crypto in here. Welcome, brother. It was good to see you down there in Florida. Infinite Crypto went down to Miami as well. We bumped shoulders with him a little bit. We were quite busy, so we didn't get a chance to really hang out. But it was good running into you. We were checking out your videos. Looked like you had a great time down there. So yeah, it was always good to see the
Where are we going in June?
the local competition.
We're going in June.
Oh, we are going to be going to Consensus as well. So if you liked the Bitcoin Miami coverage, if you like kind of the videos we put together, we're going to follow this up with the next convention. So the Consensus convention is the largest crypto convention in the world. So we went to the Bitcoin one, obviously, you know the theme for that. But the Consensus one is just blockchain in general. So really high profile guests going to be there as well. Charles Hoskinson. We also have
Sam Bankman-Fried. Kathy Wood. Maybe you can get an actual. Maybe we can get. So we plan on getting a media booth there.
Yeah, you know, actually, Kathy Wood's representatives. We opened up some lines of communication. So hopefully we can get her if she's not too busy. If you're watching, if you're vetting our project, we're the guys that asked you the questions on the run. You cordially gave us like 45 seconds of your time, which we really appreciate. But we would love.
We want to 10x
sit down.
That. We want to 10x that.
Yeah, we want to 10x that. We'd love to sit down and talk to you. So, if you happen to be watching, we're excited to maybe have you in here if you have the time. Now, with that said, let's get going, right?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Take it away.
All right. So, pulling up the market here, taking a look at Bitcoin, as we mentioned at 40,000, we did dip down to 39,000. So a lot of liquidations popped off on that dip too. So 39,400 was the bottom yesterday. Bounced back up. David,
Yo,
no TA involved. Do you think we'll hold support at 40,000?
yes.
You don't see us going under
In the short term, in like the next week?
say this week. Do you think we'll stay above 40,000?
Because the dump off we had was multiple reasons, and we'll go over that in our talking points. But part of it was people expecting the inflation numbers. Now the numbers are out, markets are going up.
Okay, so your idea is that we'll hold over 40,000 for the rest of the week?
Yeah, but everything I do is based on numbers.
Yeah.
Like I look at technicals and metrics.
I'm just trying to get your feel.
Yeah,
Just your insight. Same thing with Ethereum. You think it'll hold over 3,000 this week?
that one I don't know. But like I said, the NFT demand for Ethereum is waning. So that is what was keeping it over 35, over 38 at 4. Now that market is down. So,
Right.
Okay. I think ETH will be more volatile than Bitcoin.
All right. So, taking a look at the biggest gainers and losers for the day.
Up. Who is that? Who number one?
Oh, Shiba Inu. That's right.
Wonder why.
Yeah. So, Shiba Inu got listed on, what was it, Robinhood, right?
Robin the Hood.
Yeah, Robinhood also is I was
And guess who else they listed? The number 2 trending coin.
Oh, Compound?
Yep. And guess who else they listed?
Who's that?
The number 5 trending coin.
This is all on Robinhood?
Yeah.
I haven't opened up Robinhood's platform in a while.
Well, I just gave away one of our talking point articles.
Okay, cool. But
Yeah,
not a big fan of Robinhood. I was thinking about it yesterday. I know. So at the Bitcoin conference, Robinhood announced they're going to be using the Lightning Network, which got me to think. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. Lightning Networks are everywhere. And I started thinking, I'm like, what the hell is Robinhood going to do with the Lightning Network?
Well, you can sort of like Cash App does, right? You can send payments back and forth. Maybe their wallet they're going to have.
You don't even have a wallet.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Their wallet is about to go live.
But it's not live yet.
It will. Maybe they're integrating it with their beta form of their wallet, and then eventually you can use it like Cash App.
I'm just saying, at this moment, what the hell are
Is
you
wrong
gonna?
with you?
What the hell are you gonna use Okay, Robinhood custodies your Bitcoin. You can't remove it. You can only sell it. So you can't buy Bitcoin and then take it off and put it into a hardware wallet.
Are you sure about that?
100%.
What?
You can't.
You cannot transfer.
They're just like stocks. Just like.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
Have you ever used Robinhood?
Hell no, I haven't used Robinhood.
So when you use Robinhood,
so you're telling me if I buy Bitcoin on Robinhood, I cannot take it off the exchange and fuck that.
There's no wallet.
Well, okay, if there is a wallet, wallet
they
coming out.
have their own wallet. Okay, so for example, the largest. So it's hypothesized the largest Dogecoin wallet is Robinhood because it's not divvied up into smaller wallets. So there's one master account wallet at Robinhood that has all the Dogecoin on it.
Right.
And so the same can be said for Bitcoin and all the other holdings. So that's what I was saying. Like, okay, cool, you're using the Lightning Network, but what the fuck are you doing with it? So yeah, because the platform itself works exactly like stocks. Like for example, if I go to buy a stock, I can't pull the stock out of Wall Street.
But stock isn't a currency.
Yeah, it's different. But that's why Robinhood was listing cryptos in the same way that they list stocks, and so you can buy and sell it, and then when you sell it, you get cash into your portfolio account.
Broke Yoshi said, I got a Robinhood wallet, excuse me, and got my Bitcoin and ETH into my ledger. Done with Robinhood now.
You got it into your ledger, so that means
what he said.
I know they. I don't know. I haven't been on it in a while. They might have. I know there was some articles a couple of months ago about them integrating the wallet and being able to withdraw your crypto. And if that's live, let us know. But from when the last time I used it, you couldn't.
Yeah, I've never been a Robinhood fan, so I'll be honest, I have not used it. So I don't know if what Robin's saying is true.
No. What I'm saying is true. Whether or not it's true at the moment, I don't know. Okay, so back to the chart here. Biggest the stepping coin, seeing the big correction here, down 9%, which we all kind of expected this. Mina Protocol still on the downward trend after the Coinbase listing. Big run up. It had a big run up before the listing, anyways. So, and then we got yeah. Anyways, that's it for that. Pulling up the crypto bubbles. Let's see here. So for the day, as we mentioned, SHIB up, and Mina stepping.
Near's getting ready to just.
So Near's up 5%. So is ApeCoin. Maddox up. Maddox bubbles getting a little larger here, 3.9%. And then Hex is down. Why is Hex in the top 100? They're not in the top 100.
They shouldn't. Do you like Richard Hart?
My mom always told me not to say anything negative if you don't have anything good to say.
Don't say anything if you don't have anything good to say.
All right, what do we got here? Our producer's pulling something up. What do we got, Rocco? The word can't?
Oh, can you transfer crypto from Robinhood? Can't.
Huh. Can't transfer it out. Oh, there you go.
Robinhood trading apps allow investors to buy crypto, but they can't transfer it out. Man,
I like how they
Rocco,
put the
you're a good producer, bro.
I like how they put the. I like how they put the word.
Eddie, if you're watching, Eddie, if you're watching, standards have been set. I swear to God, if you come up in here tomorrow, bro. Just kidding. We love you, Eddie. Where's Eddie been? He hasn't been in the chat yesterday, was he?
No. We got Daniel up in here. Welcome, brother. Now, and then taking a look at the bubbles for the week. We are this safe thing. What is this thing?
I told you. We talked about this yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's privacy kind of.
I thought it was Safe Moon, but it ain't.
Yeah. All right, and then taking a look at the crypto fear and greed index, we are bottoming out at extreme fear 20 on the Richter scale here. Now, everybody's scared.
Love it.
You know, man. You know, you see the same thing on YouTube. Go to any of the all the YouTubers are talking about how low can Bitcoin go? Like it's a conga liner here or something.
One of the big TA gurus, Garrett Soloway, he thinks it's going to go down to 20. I don't know if it'll get all the way down to 20, but
I don't. I'm still in the camp of the
30?
ultimate floor is 30,000. Now I don't think it will. I don't think we'll trade under 30,000 for any more than say a day or two. And I think it's just the institutions like the Michael Saylors with MicroStrategy, ARK Invest, and then a lot of just big.
Terra bought another like
investors.
400 million.
So you know, I don't know. I just don't see it dropping under 30. That's my own personal sentiment. I know the TA says otherwise. I'm curious
what the community thinks. If you guys think Bitcoin will drop under 30, put a 1. If you think it'll stay over 30, if you think 30 is the absolute floor, put a 2. Curious.
Yeah, so just from yesterday, the fear is 32. So we're in extreme fear. Last week, we were sitting at a nice, calm 53. Last month, it was 21. So
just remember, guys, when people sell off fear, there's always someone at the other end that's going to buy it. Mm-hmm. And if you're in crypto for the right reasons and you actually believe in it long term, This should excite you. Like when I see 20, it goes to 0. If it goes to -5, I will be excited. Because you know what
These
I'll be
have
doing?
historically, if you were to look at when these hit 20, for example, these are always the best times to buy. Like October 2021, that was at the bottom of.
I wish you could plot the price of Bitcoin on top of this.
Let's see. What was the price? October 2021. Let's see. I bet you it was when Bitcoin was at its cheapest, and nobody was buying Bitcoin at the time. So,
what was October 21?
Yeah, let's see here.
There it is, right there.
Oh no, actually, no, it's right here. So somewhere in here. So 50,000. You know what? That was actually a bad time to buy.
It's a really bad time to buy.
So,
but here's the thing. Like again, you know,
maybe this chart is inverted. No.
I'm gonna say the same thing I said yesterday, and this is what Kathy Wood said. It's not about
this
timing.
was September.
It's not about timing. It's about time, right? Don't try to time the market. Try to stay in it for a longer period of time, and everything will balance itself out, and you will come out ahead.
Okay, that was when Bitcoin was at 42,000. Still a pretty good buy there. Anyways, taking a look at the traditional markets, everything's kind of neutral right now. We expected the 8% inflation number, which brings me over here to my next article. Consumer Price Index rose to 8.5% in March. If you're not familiar with the Consumer Price Index, it's a basket of assets and goods and energy, commodities, and basically...
Does this include housing?
You know, it does include housing. However, the housing is weighted very, very small. So the amount of housing,
the most important thing outside of food and water,
it's
shelter.
It's
is
weighted pretty small on this chart.
Makes a lot of sense, guys.
You know, the buzz around is that the actual inflation is over 10%. So
I'm trying to help my mom because her credit's not good. I'm trying to help my mom get an apartment. $2,100 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment. For a 2-bedroom apartment, $2,100 a month.
Hey man,
that's $25K a year.
Just have mom stay at the house.
That's ridiculous. She doesn't want to. She likes her own space.
No, hey.
You know what's funny? I bought a house with a room downstairs for her.
You and mom. Y'all gonna be together forever because inflation is not going anywhere. Because a year from now, that same apartment is probably going to cost $3,000. I'm just saying, at the rate we're going.
Hey, start finding roommates, man. You know what I would do if I was not making a lot of money, and I was kind of feeling this.
All right, here I have an offer. Real quick. Want to hear this?
Sure.
David's mom, if you would like to come stay with me, I have a spare bedroom at my house.
She won't even stay with her son. Why would she stay with you?
We will bring you in. Come by. I do amazing eggs Benedicts on the weekends. Saturday and Sunday is brunch at the Big Rob's house.
Thank God she's at work right now, not listening.
Like to know, we do have a large walk-in closet in the guest room. So if you have a lot, okay. Anyways, so inflation 8.5%.
Yeah.
Everyone, we were expecting over 8%. Some people are saying 8.1, 8.3. Hey, what do we know? 8.5, which is probably, as we mentioned, probably shorter than what it actually is. And scrolling down on this article here, energy prices were up 11% and 32%, respectively. So gasoline prices popped at up 18.3% for the month. Which I'm pretty sure it was up more than that, but whatever. And used car. Well, here's some good news.
Yeah,
used car prices and truck prices declined 3.8%. So now your overinflated car price is slightly cheaper than it was last month. So if you're looking to buy a used car, please don't. Just catch the bus, and then maybe when we get out of this downward decline. Are we going to talk about crypto today?
Hell yeah, we're going to talk about crypto.
Well, anyways,
today.
we got one more thing I just wanted to pull up here. And then I promise you we're going to talk about crypto because we are crypto.
Well, this relates to crypto.
No,
right?
I know.
This relates to crypto.
I'm just messing with you here.
Is this the world?
This is inflation rate of other countries that are not just us. So taking a look at inflation around the world, Japan is doing its thing. 0.9%.
Here's the thing. What are they doing, and how can we replicate it?
You know what's funny? Is that 1% inflation is still not good. It's basically 1% inflation, right?
But there's always going to be inflation.
But that's what we were talking about
It will
yesterday.
never be zero inflation.
Fiat currency, even the
It will
yesterday,
never be zero inflation.
fiat currency, even the best performing fiat currencies
loses
are
value.
still inflating at a minimum of 1% per year. So that shows you. If
You know what? There is a company that is looking for us to launch a stable coin that is inflation resistant. We'll go over that in our article.
Give me Bitcoin. I don't need that crap. All right, now.
So you know what pissed me off at the Bitcoin maxis, man? Yeah, just give me Bitcoin, man. I don't need anything else.
Okay, continue.
I'm not saying that Bitcoin rules all, but I'm saying Bitcoin's great, and there's other stuff in the world too that are also nice. It's just like I like YouTube. YouTube's my favorite platform, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you.
Stop!
I'm not going to sit here and
Stop
tell
that they're
you.
watching. YouTube's watching.
I'm
Stop.
not sitting here
YouTube is the
gonna tell
best
you
platform.
that
We love
I
YouTube.
won't-
We want everything to be on YouTube. We will never leave YouTube. YouTube, we love you so much.
Hey,
If you're watching from YouTube, you're the best.
YouTube is king here.
YouTube's the best.
But
No,
there's
stop.
other
Stop.
things in the ecosystem,
YouTube
okay?
is the best. YouTube, we love you.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
All right. Now, taking a look at this chart, though, South Korea, 4%, United Kingdom, 6%, the European Union, 7.5%, United States percent, 8.5%.
Yeah, we're
All the way down at the bottom of the chart here, pretty much. I mean, Turkey and Argentina doing its thing. Obviously, Russia and Brazil. So we are in a nice little group here.
A nice group.
And yeah,
Terrible group.
actually, we don't want to be here.
is
It's pretty embarrassing. And now, don't be surprised if this number starts to look more like this number and this number eventually.
No, I think we're getting close to the top.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. I think we're getting close to the top.
Okay, so we went from 7.9 to 8.5.
That's what I'm saying. I think we're getting close to the top.
And
I think
signs
next
of
month. I think next month we'll see under 9.
Okay, we haven't even seen the effects of the money printing that has been going on with this Russia thing. And
Well,
Ukraine.
Russia just defaulted.
That's what I'm saying. We're not getting paid from them. We're sending extra money over to Ukraine. And obviously energy and gas prices have went up. This hasn't even affected the CPI yet. So
We can literally reduce inflation by 3% if you just make Bitcoin legal tender.
that's a theory, but
It's
maybe.
a possible fact.
All right. So I wanted to pull up a quick article which will segue us right into our hot take here. How do I get rid of this giant freaking advertisement here?
You just scroll past it.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is about quantum computing. So here we go. What's worrying these days? War in Ukraine?
Some quick caffeine
Maybe it's
before I go to
inflation.
this article.
It's a long article. I'm not going to read the whole thing. So they're referencing the fact that perhaps quantum computing can help ease inflation. It can solve the world's problems. And if you're not familiar with quantum computing, it's just the next level of microprocessing. So the way things are done now, it's basically a computer chip just processes zeros and ones, and they just keep making the processor smaller and putting more of them in a computer chip.
You're wrong.
So, shut up. So, quantum computing, it's an evolution of that. So, instead of just doing the zeros and ones, it's more complex transactions. If you want to learn more about it, it's extremely boring technology that is fascinating, but will put you to sleep if I try to read it all. But just know that quantum computing is the next level of human evolution and its integration with technology.
Are they saying it's what, like 10 years out?
Google has a quantum computer already in production. It's been out for 3 years, and it's the smartest computer in the world. It's like 1,000 times more processing power than the strongest supercomputer. And when you say supercomputer, you're talking about like the combination of thousands of computers all tied together, working in unison to figure out problems. And so,
Does that mean Bitcoin mining will get easier?
I don't think that's how it works. I mean, eventually the ASICs are gonna eventually it'll incorporate quantum computing, I would assume. All right. So, anyways, what we're gonna get to is with quantum computing, our hot take.
All right. Roll into it.
Okay. Let's do our hot take, and then we'll discuss what that means. So, go ahead.
That's hot.
Go ahead, Robin.
Okay, so I'll bring this one in. All right, so our hot take today is with quantum computing being here. With that comes this this realization that a computer will be smart enough. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. Computers will be smart enough, especially when quantum computers are here, to hack a seed phrase or just simply find the combination to a seed phrase. Here's the thing. If you've ever pulled up your wallet on a different platform, you don't need to put in an address. You don't need to do anything. You just open up a wallet. So let's just take MetaMask, for example. You open up MetaMask and you just type in the seed phrase. Boom, it unlocks your wallet. You don't have to put in a password. You don't have to put in an address. You don't have to put anything. You just have to associate the correct seed phrase in the right order, and it opens up your wallet. And so what happens when the computer can just open up any wallet? It can open up Satoshi's original wallet with was it about 4 million Bitcoin?
4 million Bitcoin.
Supposedly that's the
ridiculous.
That's the Holy Grail wallet there.
Or
just if you have a wallet and you're just, your own personal hardware wallet.
You think we'll ever see that Bitcoin move?
Maybe not.
Like, how is this dude or lady or whoever it is sitting on 4 million Bitcoin and just literally hasn't touched it?
Yeah.
That to me is just.
So I propose a question. What do you think the Bitcoin community is going to do? Because obviously, when a computer gets to that point, what will happen?
Easy.
What's that?
You put a chip in your hand.
A chip in your hand?
Yeah. I'm kidding. It's the mark of the beast. I don't believe in it. No, I mean, I'm just like, get a QR code tattooed on your body. That doesn't show up unless you take a pill, and then the pill will show it, and then you just put your QR code to thing, and then that's the only way. That would be my. You guys like that, by the way? I kind of thought about that 5 minutes ago. I was like, how am I gonna? How? Why? I was like, the chip thing in the hand makes the most sense, but I'm not a believer in that because then now you're opening up.
I like the retina scan idea.
That's kind of, I don't know. People aren't really feeling that either. I don't know. I'm curious what the community thinks. Like, what do you guys think? And then, Robin, what do you think?
So,
what's your solution?
There's a couple easy solutions, but all it really does is push the problem back further. So, Bitcoin Wallet's 12 words. So, the reason it's so hard to crack is that instead of typing in your password with just letters and numbers, you would on your keyboard. So, traditionally, you make an account. You just type in, password 123, for example. Instead of just doing that, you now have, and you only have 24 characters for the letters. And then you have the 10 numbers. For the seed phrase, if you think about it, you take every word in the English dictionary, and each one of those is a keystroke. So just think about the mathematical possibilities where you're taking 12 characters for a password, but instead of it being 24 letters, you're using, what is it? Couple million words, or at least a couple 100,000 words as each keystroke. So that's why it's so hard to break.
By the way, you've been fact checked.
What's that?
Satoshi does not hold 4 million. It's
how much?
1 million.
1 million?
Just north of 1 million.
No. Either way, it's a lot of damn.
That's
Bitcoin.
a lot of yeah. Either way, that's a shitload of Bitcoin.
I think it's. I think I might have confused the inactive Bitcoin is about 4 million. So that's that wallet, including a lot of other wallets that are assumed to have been.
I think that's closer to 2. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where my numbers are. Anyways. So yeah, you can push back the inevitable, and instead of doing 12 words, you can just bump it up to 24.
Some of them do that already. Like Ledger does 24 words.
Yeah, then you have, I think 15 is pretty common now.
Yeah.
And then
that's a lot, man.
With 24 words. But then at this point, you're really just pushing the problem back a little bit. And at some point, what do you go to, up to 35 words? The next thing you know,
150 words.
Next thing you know, you're writing down. You got like a scroll, like it's like the 1600s. Like it's just all your seed phrase.
That'd be terrible.
I don't know, man. Is there an answer for this? Is there a perfect answer? I think if there was, people would be working on it for a while. What do we got here? Within a decade. Yeah. So within 10 years, your quantum computers will be able to hack a Bitcoin wallet.
You know what, though? We have so many bright minds in our space that I think...
Here's the thing. Imagine this. Imagine a nation state like China. Say the U.S. picks up some Bitcoin, puts it in its treasury assets. And then let's say China's all like, that's funny. We're going to one-up you. And they just roll out their quantum computer and they just pull down the $1 million. Or they just hack the same, hack the exact same seed phrase at the U.S. They hack the U.S.'s wallet and just take it from them and be like, yeah, good try. We'll just hold on to that. Yeah, so, but here's the thing. Like, you go to 24, it'll only be like a couple more years after you up the seed phrase. So I don't know. Something needs a fundamental change.
Cycle.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
We're moving on to our next segment. The talking points. Roll it. All right. We mentioned this earlier in the show, but we are going to go over it again. Shiba Inu, Solana, among 4 tokens added to Robinhood. If you can pull up my laptop, Mr. Producer. 4 popular cryptos, including SHIB, Solana, have been listed on the trading platform Robinhood. The other 2 include Polygon and Compound. And they are more focused on crypto now, apparently. Who's this? Chief Brokerage Officer Steve Quirk said that the added assets are available to buy and sell now on the Robinhood app, but deposit and withdrawal for them won't be available immediately, which tells me deposit and withdrawal is available for the other ones. So... obviously, Robinhood is a huge platform. A lot of people use it. I don't recommend using it. I know Robin doesn't like using it. Rocco, I'm not sure. But either way, they're bringing in a lot of retail investors. They have a lot of users on their platform. So this is what's behind the pump of the tokens that we just laid out for you. What are your initial thoughts on this? Do you think Robinhood just caved into the pressure? Do you think their standards have lowered? And I mean, how do you go from...
They're following the money, bro. Robinhood made bonkers amount of money
on Doge.
That was their number one source of income in 2021 during that run up. They made more money on Doge than they did on anything else, any stock, everything. Off of the straight trading fees. And so, I mean, if you're sitting on the board of directors and you need to turn profit and you got all kinds of people looking at you like, hey, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do, guy? CEO or, CCO or whatever letter combination these board members have, they got to make decisions for the company and how to turn a bigger profit. And obviously there's a ton of FOMO on SHIB. Now, is it too late? I don't think them listing SHIB is going to have any long-term profitability as far as more so than like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Their retail investors aren't coming in droves and buying up SHIB anymore. Not like they were in the past. Not like they were with Doge when the Doge craze was going on. So, I think this pump is short-lived. But not surprised. They're just going to follow the money. But I think it's good. You know what? Because Robinhood's catalog of cryptos just a year ago was extremely small. It was like 4 or 5 cryptos. It was a Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic, and then and Doge. That was literally all you could buy. And now they have a lot more offerings. And there's a lot of retail investors or just investors in general that want to get exposure to crypto, but they don't feel comfortable using a cryptocurrency website, and they're used to using Robinhood. So more exposure is good.
Do you think we'll see like traditional brokerages like Charles Schwab, TD Ameritrade, E-Trade? Do you think we'll see
They're already
those?
doing that. You
can buy crypto on Charles Schwab?
No, not on Charles Schwab, but
E-Trade, maybe.
no, yeah. Well, Toro was
eToro.
eToro was doing. eToro also just launched their NFT
Marketplace.
Yeah, marketplace. So now you can buy. So now you have, Robinhood's listing different tokens. eToro is now like one up you, bro. We got stocks, we got cryptos, and we got an NFT marketplace.
Well, Robinhood's going to expect Robinhood to announce
I'm sure
NFT marketplace.
it's a natural competition. The free market will expand these markets regardless. So now, what else?
All right, let's move on.
Okay. You know what? Hey, real quick, another talking point. I want to pull up a video. So while we're down in Miami, here, I'll pull it up here in a second. But while we were down in Miami, we were out doing some interviews. So we're kind of switching off. I would do some interviews, David would do some interviews, and so one night, David went out on the streets and did some interviews. So we're gonna go ahead and pull up my video here, and we'll have a little fun with it. Check it out.
To my man Andrew with this dope ass Bitcoin chain. What is up? Was this your first Bitcoin conference?
This is my second one, actually. The first one was the North American Bitcoin Conference, but I think this one was probably the best one. I mean, 400 sponsors, 20,000 people. What more can you ask for?
You left me hanging.
Amen to that. Now, did you meet anyone that you were just blown away by?
The most surprising appearance was the guy from Slap Chop.
Oh. Great guy.
Slap Chop.
I saw people when everyone was leaving the conference. He was just chilling in the expo booth, and we just slapped the Slap Chop guy. He was trying to promote his coin called what was this?
Slap coin.
It
was really Slap coin?
Yeah, one of them was Slap coin.
That is so dope. All right, now will you be going to Bitcoin 2023?
Oh hell yeah! That is without a question guaranteed. Yeah, I wearing this chain. Like I've already cemented my legacy in this chain already. And people have come up to me already. Like the amount of people you see, YouTubers, celebrities, even random people like the Slap Chop guy, they're probably gonna be there.
My man is an absolute legend. Ran into our friend Jack. Now Jack, did you go to Bitcoin 2022?
Yes, sir.
Was this your first Bitcoin conference?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what was your first impression?
So, real quick. So, this guy, come to find out, he is a huge TikToker. He's got like 10 million TikTok followers. And at the time, I had no idea. Before I went up to this interview, I was like, it was a group of guys you see in the back. I was like, hey, any of you want to talk? He goes, this is the guy you want to talk to. This is the guy. He's on TikTok. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, here you go. Go ahead.
It seems to me that there are not...
Ran into our friend Jack. Now, Jack, did you go to Bitcoin 2022?
Yes, sir.
Was this your first Bitcoin conference?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what was your first impression?
It seems to me that there are not enough females in the Bitcoin space. Honestly.
100% agree. We need more females in the cryptocurrency space. Now, next question. Did you meet anyone that you were just blown away by?
I was really, really happy to meet a lot of people that I've known online for a long time. I make TikTok content, YouTube content, and I'm friends with a bunch of social media creators that do finance-related, crypto-related content. And to finally meet those guys in person, it was really great. We were really glad to see each other. It was sick.
That's dope. Awesome. Is there anything you would like to see different at next year's Bitcoin conference?
More women, more food, more drinks, more parties, more people.
You know, I definitely agree with the more food for sure. Well, anyways, we're going to wrap this up. Jack, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. We'll see you next year, all right? We're trying to find more ladies that have been to Bitcoin Miami. You know, the first interview we did, one of the first interviews we did, the gentleman said we need more women in Bitcoin at the conference, and we agree. So we're on the hunt for women that have been to Bitcoin Miami. Ladies, did any one of you go to Bitcoin conference? No. All right.
They're like, what?
0 for 3. 0 for 3. Real quick, what are your names?
Emily, Chantal, Jordan.
Emily, Chantel, and Jordan. Now, did either one of you ladies go to Bitcoin Miami conference?
We walked past it. No.
walked past it, didn't go in.
I followed it on Instagram.
So that was a hard no and 2 soft no's. Now, why? Why? Come on in here. Did you go to Bitcoin Miami? Did you go to Bitcoin Miami?
No.
What the hell? Okay, now why? Why did you not go to the conference?
Why did I not go to the conference? I have other shit to do.
I lost a lot of money with Bitcoin. I see the wrong way. I'm sorry. You know what? Maybe.
You're scorned. You're scorned.
Yeah.
Did you go to the Bitcoin event?
Hell yeah, I went to the Bitcoin event. We ran into Claire. Claire went to Bitcoin Miami 2022. Was this your first Bitcoin conference you went to?
Yes,
And what were your thoughts? Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. And I have my top 5 on the list of people that were absolutely transforming who I was inspired by. Are you ready?
Yes, go, from 5 to 1, all right?
Yes, but in no particular order. Okay. Number 1, Michael Saylor, right? Huge fan and love the interchange with Kathy. Number 2, Peter Thiel, blew me out of the water, and I came away from that even more pumped up and impressed. Number 3, Jack Mallers, right? Give it up to the hometown Chicago guy that lives a few blocks away from me. Absolutely fantastic. That was great. Number 4, Osprey, Greg King, and that panel. Just brought it home, and it was an amazing think tank. And to close out with Cynthia Loomis, right? To talk about how we are going to protect, just our intellectual property rights for technology and constructively work in the framework of the U.S. government, right? And also be in a system which is bipartisan. And I think that was my biggest takeaway, that you have people on all sides that agree it's a better system. We want digital property rights. We want something that is going to protect us against, inflation and hedge against the rising cost of everything in this market right now. And it resonated to everyone. It might be number 1, your millennials, right? And I saw the marketing effects. Are they going to go into the traditional systems? No. Number 2, okay, the people that are unbanked, right? We saw more diversity and more people from around the world. That was beautiful. And then I would say number 3, people that are just, looking to change from one system to the next because they're going to not just save money, but they're moving away from a parasitic system which capitalizes on taking money instead of creating wealth for people, right? Decentralize it, give them some power, and let the people decide what they want to do with their money and their voice. And I would say those are my favorite, 5 speakers, but I could go on and give you another 10. But it was inspiring, and I absolutely loved it every step of the way.
That was such an amazing recap, and I love your list. But one thing I got to ask, you said Chicago, right?
Right, that's correct.
Are you a Bears fan?
Well, I mean, we literally love all the sports, every single one. Not just Bears, but we're Cubs, we're Sox, we're everything.
So you love the Bears?
We love the Bears.
Cut the interview. Just kidding. I'm a cheesehead, so I have an issue with Bears fans. Okay, now what is one speaker you weren't really fond of, or maybe put you to sleep?
There was no one that put me to sleep at all. The person that I thought was very interesting, who I really enjoyed, a few people. Lynn Aldrin, an amazing speaker on just all the macro. There were so many unexpected people that I watched but got to see live that were incredible.
Amazing. Now, does this mean you'll be back for Bitcoin 2023?
Absolutely.
We love it. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. Claire, thank you so much for your time. And we'll try to catch up with some more people.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Robin was so proud of that. He's like, hey, I put the video up, man, watch it. So I watch it. I get to the end. I'm like, this fucking guy. And then he goes,
what'd you think about the ending? I'm like, oh, it was such a good ending. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So yeah, I got left hanging twice. Actually, the first time he cut it out right before the guy gave me a handshake.
The first time he connected. He
Yeah,
connected.
but this time she was like, "All right, I said what I need to say. I'm out of here." Claire, we still love you. Anyways, that was good. We had a lot of fun doing that. That was Friday night. We got back. We were tired as shit. We chopped up Robin chopped up some videos, and we're like, you know what? We've talked to a lot of YouTubers. We talked to a lot of high-profile people. Let's talk to some regular-ass people, right? And so that's what we did. We got a few good ones. We had some other ones that didn't make the cut. But trust me, you do not want those to make the cut. Those are bad. So anyways, we hope you guys enjoy that.
What about the guy that was Mr. Bitcoin? Or what was he? He came up with a song or something?
Oh my God.
So bad. This guy was like, he was Bitcoin balling, yeah. He was like, yeah, man, I got this song. It's going viral. It's gone viral. Did he say?
Yeah, and I'm like, I had to like go through 5 pages.
Bitcoin balling. He was just like, yeah, blah blah blah. My name is this.
So we interviewed.
He had the
him.
whale pass, so I was kind of taking him for his word.
By the way, whale pass was like whale passes cost $16K.
Yeah,
US dollars.
So I was like, oh, okay, sure. We pulled up that song. It was terrible.
And then he was like, before I interviewed him, he was like, hey, so you play you'll play the song, my song over the interview, right? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, well, ask Robin to see if that's possible. He does all the software stuff. And then Robin was busy with the camera. I was like, you know, I got a feeling about this. I was like, yeah, we'll do it. And then in my head, I'm like,
it was this guy here. I'll just fast forward it real quick. But it was the
orange man.
The orange man. The orange man.
The dude in all orange.
Oh man. Yeah. So I
think
mean, what a great time Miami was, man. Just to
drunk.
recap that. Here, pull this up real quick. So this was actually yesterday.
It's mac and cheesy right there.
How's Miami treating you so far? What's up, Crypto fam? Big Rob here.
Last day, Bitcoin 2022. We're at Sound Money Fest. The last day, we wrap it up with a day and night festival with Steve Aoki, Logic. And we ran into the flyest man at the conference.
By the way, that bull, whoever stayed on the longest won one Bitcoin. So they took all your information, and whoever was on the bull the longest won one Bitcoin.
Yeah, whoever. Yeah.
And you know, if I would have known that, I would have brought my best known bull rider with me, and I would have paid for his trip. I would have paid for his flight. I would have paid for everything, and we would have split the Bitcoin. But we didn't know that was happening. So. Anyways, all right, let's get back to our articles. Next article we're going to talk about is the drop in price of Bitcoin. Why? Well, another $439 million in liquidations as Bitcoin drops below 40K. Bitcoin fell below 40K for the first time since March 16th of this year, leading to nearly 150,000 traders being cleared of their positions. Hundreds of millions of dollars in liquidations have been set off across the crypto market in the process. According to CoinGlass, over 439 million has been liquidated within 24 hours, includes 141,000 trades, one of which just lost 10 million. One person lost $10 million in liquidations. Now, out of the 439 million, about 152 million occurred among Bitcoin traders and 103 million among Ethereum traders. And you can see this lovely, ugly chart that shows all the liquidations. And I'm going to piggyback this onto the next article. On-chain data suggests Bitcoin miners were behind the sell-off. So miners, what the hell is wrong with you? No, you got to keep in mind, miners have overhead. Their power bills are extraordinary, so they have to sell some of the Bitcoin they mine to keep their operations going. On-chain shows Bitcoin miner outflows have been elevated recently, suggesting miners were involved in the recent sell-off that took the price of the crypto below 42K. Now, here's what typically happens. You have people that are in leverage positions. You have miners start to sell. And then as miners start to sell and prices get to certain leverage levels, the leverage traders get liquidated and it all just cascades down and we see a big 8 to 10% drop in the price, which is what happened. As you can see in the graph above, the Bitcoin miner outflows seem to have shown spikes in recent weeks just before the sell-off. And you see every time there's a spike, the price dips. Spike, price dips, same. And then we saw a massive spike, bigger than anything we've seen since August of last year. So, and for us to see this, for us to see $439 million in liquidation and Bitcoin price hold over 40K, to me is extremely bullish.
We got somebody new in the chat. We got Crypto Gangster.
What's up?
Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
Call him Crypto G.
Crypto G, all right, does it?
You like it?
How about CG?
Nah.
Instead of OG?
Nah. See, Crypto G.
Crypto G.
Yeah. Or we can just call him Gangsta. Now then YouTube might think we're promoting gang violence. And community guidelines are very... Anyways, so, going back to the last two articles, Robin, do you like what I said? Do you think that's what happened or do you think there was something else?
The liquidation...
Do you think like miners sold off and then that caused the price and then leverage traders just immediely after got sold off? Or do you think it was the reverse or do you think it just didn't really have that
the
big
miner, see the thing is the miners, they have like the mining pools. So like F2 is the largest mining pool and they've been notorious for dumping the price. So what they'll do is they'll find like a good exit point, take profit, I guess. And they'll just sell. They'll just take all, they'll just dump the market. So I got to be careful. Yeah, I don't know. Basically, if you know the right people, you can find out when F2 pool and some other mining pools are going to dump the market. So a lot of manipulation comes from them. So not surprised at all. And then don't get it twisted. These pools, they're not just selling and then just taking fiat currency. They will sell and then buy right back in.
Oh, yeah.
And remember, you can see these liquidation points. So it's all public data. You can go to Binance, you can go to Bybit, you can go to KuCoin, and you can look at where the liquidation points are. And you can be like, all right, well, if the price drops to 39.5, we'll liquidate this amount of money. And if you're holding thousands of Bitcoin, you can just basically sell that, clear the order books, drop the price, liquidate, and then you can buy back in at the lower price with the limit order buy. So you can sell, put the limit order buy, you're going to clear, and then you'll be at the bottom. That is textbook manipulation. If you're not familiar with that, it is something that is common. And as, if you look at, you have big institutions and big mining pools holding big portions of Bitcoin, and this is common practice in natural markets. However, in like the commodities markets, like gold, there's so much liquidity and there's so much money in it. It's harder to manipulate. Bitcoin is under $1 trillion. It's a smaller asset or commodity, so easier to manipulate. And then, as we mentioned, there's a ton of people that don't even have access to their Bitcoin. So there's less Bitcoin even than what we see, obviously. So anyways, yeah.
We got some metrics I'm going to show you guys in our market analysis. Very bullish metrics. So stay tuned for that. All right, let's move on. Iran will not allow crypto payments, prepares to pilot their digital real. So the real is their national currency. They are trying to do a digital real. So kind of like a CBDC. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin will not be treated as legal tender in the Islamic Republic of Iran. And Reza Bagheri, who is the Deputy Minister of Communications, said, we do not recognize payments for cryptocurrencies. You know, one-liner there. He pointed out that the use of any foreign currency is outside the sovereignty and against the monetary and banking law of Iran. Iran has its own national cryptocurrency, so no payments will be made with non-national cryptos, he insisted. The Central Bank of Iran has recently informed banks and other credit institutions about regulations related to the crypto real. So they're not calling it a CBDC or just calling it the crypto real, which has been under development for some time. They will apply to the minting and distribution of the central bank digital currency. The CBI will be its sole issuer and will determine the maximum supply. According to Way to Pay, the digital currency is based on a distributed ledger system that will be maintained by authorized financial institutions. I wonder who that will be. Probably just their central bank. Now, we're seeing a trend here. China banned crypto and is moving to do their own CBDC. Iran banning crypto, moving to do their own CBDC. Now, ask yourself this question. Why? Why can't both coexist? Because countries like this, communist regimes, totalitarians, dictators, they want to control everything, and crypto takes control away from the government and puts it in your hands. So this just leads me to bring that a CBDC controlled by our government here in the U.S. won't be a good thing. I'd rather them adopt a technology, adopt a stable coin or multiple stable coins, because at the end of the day, they are pegged to the dollar. It's just you're not going to have control over it, which is the whole reason people got into cryptocurrency. So, Robin, what are your thoughts?
No, it's no surprise. As you mentioned, the totalitarian government regimes and communist regimes are the ones that are looking for control are the ones that are at the forefront in the CBDCs. You did mention the U.S. It doesn't seem as though they're going to go forward into a central bank digital currency that is issued to the population. And that's kind of what the buzz is.
So let me ask you this question.
So Cynthia Lummis went out, she mentioned that at the Bitcoin conference, that she thinks the CBDCs that the government is researching and more than likely going to implement will be just for the transfer of money on printing from the Fed to central banks and not to the normal people. So which kind of leads you to this interesting dichotomy where you have the Fed using a CBDC strictly between them and the banks, kind of like XRP's ledger was supposed to do. And then the banks themselves, my assumption would offer their own stablecoin. So you could have like the Bank of America stablecoin. You could have the Wells Fargo stablecoin. And then in turn, you could have competition amongst the banks. And perhaps maybe you'll start to see some interest-bearing yield that you could get for using one type of stablecoin issued by one bank versus another, obviously for free market competition. So this would be the ideal situation. Will that happen? Who the hell knows? Politics is very up in the air. But there's been a lot of pushback for a CBDC, and the concerns is that the government will have control or at least be able to see what the hell you do with every single penny you use with the current CBDC format you see in China. So
and tell you where you can spend that money.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, we're moving on. Moving on to Brazil. Brazilian central bank president confirms CBDC pilot will launch in 2022. President of the Central Bank of Brazil confirmed that the country's sovereign digital currency pilot will go live this year. The value of the upcoming CBDC would be pegged against a national fiat payment system STR, which is the Reserve Transfer System. Roberto Neto, which is the president of the central bank, also confirmed that digital real would have a fixed supply and only a certain amount of it would be minted, quite similar to Bitcoin. And he goes on to say, this using the STR and real digital is a way of creating the digital. Why do I have such a hard time pronouncing this word? Digitalization of the currency without creating a rupture in the bank's balance sheets. This project should have some kind of pilot in the second half of the year. During his speech, he clarified that he still believes in crypto is more prominent as a form of investment rather than a form of payment, while adding that it could change if the adoption among the masses rises. So you look at Brazil, their inflation is skyrocketing.
Out of control.
Out of control. So, Robin, will this fix their inflation problems?
No. CBDC doesn't change. Okay, CBDC is not like a Bitcoin network. We'll just take Bitcoin, for example, where you have a set supply, 21 million. CBDC is basically just uses the blockchain technology as far as how it transfers it in the ledger, and it just uses that. So instead of using some arbitrary system that's been around since the 70s and 80s that one bank says, give me about 4 days and I'm going to verify this transaction went through. And then we'll deduct it from here. And, if it doesn't go through, we'll reverse the payments and we're going to charge you. Anyways, the CBDCs, basically, they're moving the money they already have there. Even if it's overinflated, they're just moving it on blockchain rails. That's pretty much it. It's trackable. So it doesn't really solve anything. It's better technology than we have now, but it's extremely transparent and you can track people. So not going to fix anything, basically, where I'm getting at.
Rocco, put it on me real quick. No, just me. The shirt is betraying me. It says decentralized, not centralized, all right? I'm looking at the thing. I'm like, I hope people don't think I'm pushing centralization here, because I'm not. I'm decentralized. But it's a little cold today, so I had to wear my jacket. But here, I'm going to make sure that it shows here. It's very important to me that people don't think I'm. There you go. The D's there, guys. The D's there. All right, you got anything else to add to this? Prime one?
No, I'm glad you pulled your D out. So there you go.
There are children watching, Robin.
People didn't realize you had a D. So I'm glad you clarified that. Thank you.
Good for you. Bank of England. Moving on to England. Bank of England.
Bangladesh, not England.
Bank of England's top executive leaves the institution to join the crypto custodian Fireblocks. Varun Paul, the head of the fintech hub at the Bank of England, parted ways with the institution after spending more than 13 years there. He will take a role at the crypto security company Fireblocks, which essentially navigates crypto, Bitcoin moving back and forth safely, mainly for institutions. Paul's decision to leave the UK central bank and join a crypto company is interesting because the monetary institution is among the keenest opponents of the digital asset industry. Talking about the Bank of England, of course. So we continue to see more more prominent figures in traditional banking, traditional finance step away and move into blockchain. So this is the case of not just follow the money, but follow the people. Where are the brightest minds in the world of finance, in the world of banking, in the world of monetary whatever? Where are they going? And why are they going there? I mean, they know something, right? They must know something. They see trends. They see the way money's moving, right? This guy was at the head of the Bank of England. So I'm sure he sees where money's starting to go. I'm sure he sees the sentiment of people, the investors, very bullish.
You're overthinking it there, brother. You know what it is? They're paying more. The teams that run blockchains, whether it be custodial services like Fireblocks.
More. That's why he's leaving?
Yeah. I mean, have you seen the salaries to cryptographic engineers, the people that write the code, making crazy money.
Cryptographic engineers.
That's right. Cryptographic engineers.
Kind of like that, actually.
Now.
Sounds really legit.
It sounds like a cool ass title.
Cryptographic.
Like, could you imagine if you like talk to somebody at dinner? Like, what do you do? I'm a cryptographic engineer. Like, god damn. Okay. That's what's up. You gonna buy me a drink or what?
I bet you Rocco's looking at if that's an actual word. I know. I can hear the keyboard typing. I'm like, yep. Here we go. All right.
Yeah, and try to find out is the real work. Is actually a
Is it
job
really?
or
Let's
what
see
it-
it. Let's see
Yeah,
it.
find out.
Okay.
He's
all
gonna,
right.
he's gonna, Rocco will get back to us. Now,
So you really think they're only because they're paying him more?
yeah, it's the same reason. Okay, think of it this way. It's the same reason somebody leaves a government position to go be the CEO of a large food company. Let's say you're in the agricultural business, or say you're on the FDA and you leave to go be the CEO or board member of a large pharmaceutical company. It's because the pay rate is so much higher. So if you take this article, you take somebody leaving a position in Congress in the UK for a corporate position, the reason he left is because they paid him more. And we see the salaries of politicians. That's one of the problems that we have here, is that the salaries for the politicians compared to the jobs that they can get in the private sector is a huge gap. So first of all, if you stay in Congress, you're getting paid way less than you could over here. They're just going to line your pockets. They're going
So why do they stay
throw
in
you
Congress?
bribe money. What's up?
So then why do they stay in Congress?
Well, some people, they just like their job or whatever it is.
No, they like the power.
What do we got here? What do we got? We got a cryptographic engineer.
So it's an actual thing.
Makes
That's not a lot of money.
$114,000.
That is not a lot of money.
$114,000 a year.
Nowadays, that ain't a lot of money.
And look, your possible range is there's a
401.
likely over 200,000. Look at that, man. So
Daniel.
yeah. So if you're getting into some of these, like, blue chip projects, like, anything in the top 20 on the coin market cap list, I'm sure you're straight balling. Bitcoin balling, just like the guy's song, bro. So,
Bitcoin balling.
all right, and then
all right, I'm done with this
anyways, so
article. Go
yeah,
ahead.
they're just paying more. Cynthia Lummis also referenced that, or no, it's Kathy Wood. Kathy Wood referenced that there is not only a lot of money leaving savings and checking accounts and retirement and Roth IRAs, they're not only leaving money is leaving those institutions and the banks, but also some of the high-end banking employees, corporate members, are leaving to go to blockchain. So that was something she pointed out. She was like, "Hey, man, don't get it twisted. It's not just the fiat leaving the bank. It's also the
Talent.
the help, the work. So
The talent. Talent's leaving. A few things I took away from Miami that I just remembered. A couple of, I'm starting to rethink how HODL is pronounced. Is it HODL or HODL?
Don't ever say hodl, please.
I heard so many people say HODL.
Don't ever hold yourself out.
So I'm just like,
throw that
I'm
extra O on there.
rethinking my life right now because I'm like, is it HODL or HODL?
You know what I realized? When I got back, my lips instantly chapped up. Like I
How
got
bad was
back,
it? We came back
I
to
got back. The
shitty
door
weather.
opened and literally my lips just cracked. Like I overbaked some bread, bro. It literally was instantaneously, and I was like, "What happened, man?" And I realized that humidity down there.
Yeah.
I want to live somewhere where.
And then it's not
humidity.
Cynthia Loomis, it's Lummis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. And it's not Big Rob, it's Dumb Rob.
El Guapo.
Anyways, all right, we're moving on. Freaking ugly. All right, so this is very, very interesting. Volt Protocol raises $2 million for, quote, inflation-resistant stablecoin.
I got somebody new in the chat here. Husan is basically throwing shade at my thumbnail.
Said you should apply a good thumbnail.
Yeah.
Husan, I got a question.
Husan. Hola!
You do thumbnails? Show us what you can do. Show us a
Yeah,
thumbnail.
we are looking for graphic designers too. If anybody knows graphic designers, we are looking for that. You know what? We decided to flip up the screen. We have like a kind of a blueprint we do for our thumbnails, and it works out pretty well. And the day I was like, David, I'm gonna try something a little different on the thumbnail. So apparently it's not well received by Husan up here.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Send us something. SinCityCrypto1@gmail.com. Send us your best thumbnail. All right. Back to this article. A new project, Volt Protocol, is looking to create a spark within the stablecoin industry. Founded last April, Volt Protocol calls itself a decentralized, inflation-resistant stablecoin. Its protocol tracks the CPI released by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics instead of being pegged to fiat. That sets it apart from current stablecoins such as Tether or USDC, which track the dollar's price and lose purchasing power as inflation climbs upwards. Volt is built on Ethereum and uses Fuse, which is an Ethereum-based open interest protocol that supports isolated interest rate markets. With isolated markets, each lending market is kept separate from other markets, meaning any changes to a market shouldn't affect the other markets in the Fuse ecosystem. The mainnet is likely to launch in late April or early May. Volt says it uses a Chainlink oracle to transmit CPI data to a Volt smart contract, an automated program that executes once specific criteria are met, where the current annual inflation rate is then stored. Each month, the target price of Volt updates according to changes in the annual inflation rate. Volt claims to be backed by collateralized debt positions and stablecoins held in a PEG stability module that allows users to swap collateral types at a fixed rate. So, Robin, what are your initial thoughts on this?
You were excited about this project. I think it's extremely stupid.
You think it's stupid?
Yeah, I think it's stupid.
Okay, why?
First of all, why are you trying to peg something to inflation? Just hold a scarce asset, a cryptocurrency, hold Bitcoin where it basically grows against inflation, not pegged to inflation. And I don't know. That's just I don't see a need for this. I don't know why I need to keep my stable coin in a platform that follows inflation. I mean, I understand the principle behind it and I understand the value that is proposed here. I'm just saying that if you're going out of your way to transact outside of the fiat currency, you're like, okay, I don't want to use dollars. I don't want to invest in gold. And you move your investment, whether it's your savings account or whatever. Anyways, you're trading in crypto. You're doing it for a reason. And the reason is not to match inflation. The reason is to make money and protect your future. And to follow inflation's CPI, it's kind of counter. You're going against the whole point you're in it. And so that's the way I look at it. I think the best way to go about it is just simply buy Bitcoin. At minimum, I think the other altcoins provide more value as far as potential upside with a little bit more risk. But I mean, you could start with Bitcoin if you want something that's somewhat stable, and then when it's time to buy and sell, you just sell that into a stable coin, and then yeah. I mean, I guess if you're gonna keep money in stable coins for a year and a half, maybe it's smarter to put it in something that follows inflation,
especially now.
But if you're not going to be long-term holding fiat in stable coins, what's the point? Why wait a whole year to get 8% when you can just put it in USDC or you can put it in USDT and get 20% yield?
Well, it's month over month.
Yeah, but it's still month over month, but you're still only going to, it's still an annual percentage. So the CPI is the annual percentage. It's 8% from March of this year to March of last year or April or whatever it is. So if it's following inflation, you're going to be getting that 8% at the end of the year. Maybe they pay it out month to month, but if it's supposed to follow inflation, then it's just going to follow it on a yearly.
And you can also do the difference. So from February to March of this year, March to April of this year.
Okay, so you get the difference of 7.9% to 8.4, so you get a whole 0.5%. I'd rather, I mean, me personally, I'll put it USD. I could put it in USDC, put it in USDC, and then just put it on any of multiple platforms and get 8% interest, 10% interest. I think that's way smarter than using a protocol I've never even heard of that follows a CPI that I don't even care about.
You don't care about CPI?
I don't care about it to a point to where I don't want to keep my money in it. I don't want to keep dollars. I have $0 in my savings account. Zero. I don't even own a savings account anymore. That shit is gone, liquidated.
So you broke? You not Bitcoin balling?
I'm fiat broke.
Are you Bitcoin balling?
I'm crypto rich, baby. But
Rob is Bitcoin balling. anyways, it's just interesting, right? Interesting how, you know, and I don't know, obviously this has been in the works for a while. They just raised $2 million, so it's not a project that just came out, but kind of coincides with what's happening with inflation. So good timing for this project. We'll see when it rolls out. We'll see how it goes. See if a lot of people buy into it, but pretty interesting. All right, moving on. Coinbase to produce a Bored Ape Yacht Club animated short films. The Bored Ape Yacht Club will officially expand into the entertainment world with a series of animated short films produced by Coinbase entitled the D-Gen Trilogy. The D-Gen Trilogy will feature characters based on the Bored Ape Yacht Club. The first film in the series will debut at NFT NYC in June, with 2 other entries to follow over the next year. Crypto Exchange will work with NFT holders and potentially feature their characters in the film. So word is, Coinbase is offering you $10K to hand over the rights to your Bored Ape for their short films. This is, as far as like the Bored Ape community on like Twitter, it's gotten mixed results, right? Some people are happy the fact that they're able to license out their NFT and make some money. Some people say, why would you give up control of your Bored Ape for such a long time for only $10K when it's worth $300,000?
But you're just giving out the rights for them to use it in a animated film.
But you're essentially sending them your Bored Ape.
I know. I think you're just giving out the copy because basically you own the NFT. So the way I took it is that you own the NFT. You're just letting them use it in their animated film. They're paying you rights. It's the same way as if I make a song and you want to put it in a commercial. You pay me $10,000. Okay, cool. Run it on your commercial. But I still own the song. I don't give you my song. It's the same thing. Like I own the Bored Ape. You want to use it in your it's my product. It's my art piece. You want to use it in your animated film, pay me. It's just royalties.
So I'm not sure how the exact, how they're doing it, whether you have to, because, obviously they're coming out their marketplace, and so they're trying to build hype around that. So who knows? Maybe the stipulation is, hey, you have to list it on our marketplace or whatever the case may be. But anyways.
I doubt it. There's no way.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Centralized exchanges.
No, it's Coinbase, man. They're pretty fair. They're not up to anything shady.
We'll see. Well, speaking of not up to anything shady, our last article we're going to talk about, Coinbase is increasing their transparency for new asset listings that are going to be on Coinbase. Starting immediately and as part of an effort to increase transparency by providing as much information symmetry as possible, Coinbase will be using this blog post as a pilot to communicate assets under consideration for listing in Q2 of 2022, which Q2 runs April 1st through June 30th of this year. The following assets are under consideration. So now instead of just you finding out, hey, got listed on Coinbase, or finding out 2-3 days before, they are trying to be as transparent as possible by telling you well in advance, hey, the next 3 months, these are some of the tokens that we are thinking about listing. Now, this doesn't mean they're going to list them, but they're thinking about listing. So this can kind of give you an idea. So I think this will also eradicate the big pump and the big sell-off when it actually gets listed leading up to it. So go back.
I think this is definitely 100% Coinbase trying to protect itself from litigation due to insider trading. And being a publicly traded company, if you know something is going to be listed on their platform and you go out and you front run it and you go, so let's just say, we'll take Meetup Protocol, for example. Sitting at $2, like it was like $2.10, and then all of a sudden you see it rallying up to $2.80, and then it gets listed on Coinbase $3.20, and then if you already know that happens like a blueprint, you can front run it, and that is the definition of insider trading. So on that, not really. Insider trading would be if your stock is going to go up or down, but
you tell
could be
no, it could be
prosecuted in that way. And I'm telling you, that is 100% why they're doing that. They're not doing that just to be more transparent. They're doing it to cover their own ass.
So here's a list of some of the tokens that they're thinking. So a couple ones are highlighted. Binance USD. So they're bringing the some part of the Binance ecosystem on their network, that was pretty interesting. Same thing with Gemini. They're bringing on Gemini stablecoin. And then Nest Protocol. So I thought this was interesting. So should be a note here. Oh, the note went away. Never mind. So Nest Protocol does price. It's a price oracle for Ethereum. So this is, I've seen this in the news a lot. It's outside the top 500, but something interesting to kind of keep an eye on. They're also going to be listing a lot of DAOs I see here, and strictly Solana and Ethereum network tokens as of now. Now, they do say, as a reminder, Coinbase recently introduced an experimental label that may be applied to all newly listed tokens. So if you go on Coinbase, any new ones they listed, before you're able to submit your final order, there is something that pops up that says this is an experiment. This could be an experimental coin. The risk of losing your money is a lot higher than investing in more established coins. So something cool, I guess, for investors to be able to see, hey, before I buy this, could be considered experimental. So, all right, that'll do it for our talking points. We are now going to move on to my favorite segment because I do it and I don't have to listen to Robin talk and he stays quiet, the market analysis. So Robin brought us in at 40K. We are under 40K.
All right,
We're at
we
39.7. So Bitcoin is dropping.
Now, in the middle of the show,
this is my segment.
I proposed a question to you. I said, "Do you think this week we're going to see the price going to 40,000?" And your reply was
wicking under. The candle hasn't even closed.
What was his reply, Rocco? Hold on. You know what? Actually, it just came to me. You said it wasn't going to drop under 40,000.
Put it on my laptop. You see that candle? That candle's still green. Candle's still green.
As green as your TA.
Yeah. Anyways, so Bitcoin is dropping. It's at 39.7. ETH still holding over 3, and then Solana at 101 bucks. So Forrest, who will be joining us every Friday, starting this Friday, he mentioned Solana is a good pickup. It did pump all the way up to, I believe Solana pumped up to about 106 bucks. Terra Luna 83 bucks. Avalanche 75 bucks. If you've been waiting on Terra Luna and Avalanche, great entry points. And of course, none of this is financial advice. I want to look at some Bitcoin metrics. So this is the Bitcoin stock to flow. So this essentially measures circulating supply to how. So I'll just read it off because it's a little easier. There they explain a little better. It is assumes a scarcity drives value. So stock to flow is defined as a ratio of the current stock of a commodity, i.e., like circulating Bitcoin supply, and the flow of newly mined Bitcoin. And you can see we do sway away from the line here, the stock to flow line, but we always revert back to it, right? And so typically the longest we've stayed away from this has been about 2 years, which is this segment here from 2011 to 2013. We have been off of the stock to flow model since 2021 in March. Now, when will we get back? Will we go past 2 years? Will we go under 2 years? My bet is we get back to this number in the next, say, 8 to 12 months. And this number here would put the Bitcoin price at over $108,000. So, and if I go to the next one, this is a deflection. So this shows a value of 1 or higher means Bitcoin is overvalued. A value of 1 or a value under 1 means Bitcoin is undervalued. And you can see the direct correlation here. It was at 25, no, at the height here in 2011, we were sitting at 26 stock to flow deflection, and the Bitcoin price tanked. Here, same thing. We were at, what is this? We're at about 10, about 9. Same thing. Bitcoin's price tanked. Same thing. And now, and as we see on the bottom here, when we start to see the undervalued price of Bitcoin, the price tends to rally. And if I zoom in here, we are in great, I mean, the numbers here, you're looking at less than half. And we are lower than we've been, so we're at 0.35, 39,600. Bitcoin is extremely undervalued, so will we see a big run up to Bitcoin? Looking at these metrics, they say yes, but the charts say something different. So here we are in, this is the daily chart on Bitcoin, by the way. We are in what's called a bear flag. So even though we are making higher highs and higher lows, this will tend to break to the downside. Now, will it break to the downside now? I don't know. Maybe. I don't think so. I think we see a lot of support here at that 39,800 to 40,000.
When you say bear flag, you know, what instantly pops up into my head is pull up the laptop. Pull up the laptop. It's the old great state of California. It's a bear on a flag. I'll send it back to you. Thank you.
Wow, thanks for adding great value to the segment. So my bet is we're not done with this formation here. We're going to see a move up, and I don't know if we'll reach all the way up to this 48,000, but we'll definitely see a move up to at least this halfway point, right? This 44,500. And then once this formation completes, I'm hoping we see this 35.9, but if not, we're going all the way down to 29,000, which is the next big level of support. Now, if we look at the weekly chart of Bitcoin, same thing. We have a bear flag. And we are at the bottom of this formation on the bear flag. Now, same thing. If we break down on the weekly chart, we're looking at support at 36. And if we break under that, we're looking at the same thing, 29. So the weekly chart levels on the second support is the same 29,000, but a little different on the on the first level of support once we break under this pattern. Now, what are some coins you guys want us to do some tea on? Let's look at Ethereum. So ETH, same thing on the weekly chart, but if I pull up the daily chart here, same thing. A lot of the coins, I was looking at the TA, a lot of them are in this bull flag, this bear flag. So now, of course, TA is never 100%. Please always keep that in mind. Something can happen, regulation could come out, something bullish news, the war in Ukraine ends or whatever, and just all TA will go out the window. But as far as looking at strictly numbers, charts, looking at candles, which measure the sentiment of traders in the market, which is the most important thing, right? People make decisions based on their emotions, right? What, you going to say something?
No. I was going to mention Crypto Gangster wants to know why Celsius is not paying interest. They're not doing the interest points here in the U.S. We did talk to the Celsius team quite some detail on multiple days. It's all about regulation. So the SEC doesn't like interest on stablecoins.
Yeah, because the banks
you can get interest on I think Bitcoin, right? Because it's a commodity. I'm not sure 100%.
I'm not 100% sure, and I don't want to give out false information.
But basically, it's the regulation. They have a hard time offering their services in the U.S. because of the U.S. regulations.
But if I take this away and I put on the Bollinger Band, so we are trading at the lower band of the Bollinger Bands, which is pretty bullish in the short term. I would definitely expect to move up to this 20-day moving average, which is 32.78, and then if we get to the top of this band, we're looking at 35.89. But again, the overall sentiment is a little bearish. So what we always recommend, and what I would always recommend, of course, this is not financial advice, is have money on the sidelines. Have money on the sidelines, because when we break out of these patterns to the downside, you want to be able to be in a position where you can scoop up amazing projects like Bitcoin, Ethereum, not Solana, they're not amazing, they're good. Avalanche, Cardano at 95 cents. We went over an article yesterday. 1,000 projects are getting ready to launch on Cardano. There's going to be a supply shock. So if you have money ready, you can start buying when this starts to dip into these levels. And if you don't get excited when prices start to dip, you are in the crypto for the wrong reasons. So yeah, that's all I got for TA. Try to make TA concise. I try to make it quick. So I know it bores some people. Some people don't like charts. I can do a complete different segment on TA, which eventually, that is my vision. Once we hit a shitload of subscribers, to do a separate channel or a separate show just on doing TA. So yeah, that's all I got. Robin, anything to add before we sign off?
Somebody else said something about
Anchor? No.
Yeah, Anchor fam. Anyways, yeah, we'll wrap it up. So, thank you everybody for watching. You got anything else to add there, brother? Yeah, we do the giveaway when we open up the club.
Yeah, the limit's at 33.
If you're familiar, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just set whatever the day before's, whatever the high was for our viewers. That's gonna be the next day. So basically, we want to entice YouTube to bring in more viewers than the day before. So today we didn't reach 20. We didn't reach 30. We were, what was it, 30, right?
It was 33.
So 33. Yeah. Maybe we'll scale it back down to 30 tomorrow. Send it back to the original.
Tomorrow's 30.
So If we get 30 viewers in the chat tomorrow, we'll give away $25. Now, thank you everybody for joining us. We will be back. By the way, I know yesterday we referenced that we're going to have giveaway for our hardware wallets for the Anchor wallets
Thursday.
But we have moved the interview back to Thursday. So make sure you tune in there. If you're not familiar with Arculus, they do a hardware wallet that is
Super
in the
dope.
form of like a metallic card.
It's dope.
That you tap with your phone. So pretty cool innovation there.
We're going to
as
have one of
far
their
as-
VPs on here. So they're going to talk about the project, and it's going to be great. We're going to be giving
And then we
us
got
some
somebody
free,
new here at the last second. Kasnik. Hola! Welcome, Sin City Crypto. Come
like
back
Castle.
and check us out tomorrow because we're wrapping this thing up 10:30 a.m. Vegas time. Or you can just hit rewind on this live stream and check us out.
Right. All right.
All right, guys.
Guys,
Well,
mañana.
till tomorrow.
I love you. We love you. Well, Robin doesn't love you. Robin doesn't love anything except himself. And he loves his parrot. And he also loves his ugly ass Raiders jacket. And he also loves candy. Love you. Bye.
I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink weed, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D turned into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink weed, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Smoking on an island, say she wanna ride with me. Took her on a flight, said all her bags from Italy. I sent her with a friend, they shopping there religiously. Whoa, whoa, yeah. You say she love me, but that's when she rockin' Prada bag.